Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 4, Episode 8, Moms, Missions, and Matrimony. We open this episode at Whitney's house and she is telling Justin that she just got off the phone with Mary. We get a flashback to Mary saying, "If I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to show up." Justin goes, "Why are you talking to Mary Cosby?" Yes, thank you. Justin gets it. Why are any of you talking to Mary? So I guess Whitney wanted to talk to Mary at Angie's Greek Easter, but Mary wasn't there. So Whitney tells him she agreed to go to dinner with me. Yeah, only if she's feeling it, which I would say there's about a 72 to 100% chance she's not going to show up. You are not going to see Mary Cosby at the restaurant. In her confessional, Whitney said, "I know it doesn't make sense, but it keeps coming up with my energy healer. So clearly, I need to resolve something with Mary in order to move on." Oh, yay. We get a fun conversation with Justin and Whitney while they try to plan for their daughter Bobby's birthday. Justin's like, "When is the party?" And she goes, "On her birthday." And Justin goes, "But that's my work conference. You know that." Whitney, "You won't be there for her birthday?" Like she's just hearing this for the first time. And Justin goes, "No, that's why we talked about celebrating the weekend before." Whitney, "Well, that's a bummer." God. Maybe this is why the marriage is in trouble. Because they don't seem to be on the same page as far as what they're going to tell the cameras. Like Justin, it seems more natural with him. He's like, "Well, we just talked about this. Why are you saying the party is on her birthday when we just talked about the fact that I have a work conference on her birthday?" And Whitney always seems to be like, "Dude, we're supposed to be playing along like we're just coming to this realization now on camera." You know, like either Justin's not getting the memo or Whitney's just a bad actress. I don't know what's going on here, but this is the second time there's been a weird miscommunication. The first was just him going back to work, period. She seemed to think that he could go back to start a new job full time, but still be the person that takes the kids to school and picks them up from school. She seemed shocked by the fact that he couldn't do that if he was at work. So, I don't know. I guess this is sort of, trouble in their marriage is kind of their storyline, but they're way worse at it than Kyle and Mauricio are with Beverly Hills. Just saying. They could take some pointers from them because I actually believe they're going through trouble. This seems, I don't know what's happening here. This is just weird. I don't know why they don't seem to know what each other's talking about. Also, Whitney, do you want this man to have a job or not? He just started and there's a conference or whatever. Of course he can't miss it. He's new at this job. It's weird. Okay. Well, Whitney also has a big event the weekend before. So she's like, "We could do it the weekend before, but I'm going to need a lot of help." So, yeah. Like she could have the party on Sunday, but she has an event on Saturday or, Friday and Saturday, whatever. It's the same weekend as a big event for her. So that's why she was trying to push it to the next weekend. Also, Justin forgot to make the appointment for them to see a therapist. So he's like doing it right now. And next we are snowmobiling with Heather and Monica. It's the day after the Greek Easter party at Angie's. I'm assuming her husband is Greek because I've never heard Angie say anything about it. Anyway, Heather reached out to Monica because she could see that, she wasn't having the best time at the party. Like she left without her mother. And Monica really appreciates it because she said, "I don't think I would have gotten out of bed today otherwise." She actually begins to cry when she's telling Heather that when she was 12 years old, her mother dropped her off with family friends and left her there. This was a family in Pennsylvania, and her mother went off to pursue her dreams in New York. So, for those tallying the score at home, Her father left when she was 4, and then it appears as though her mother left her when she was 12. Needless to say, Monica now has some major abandonment issues. I will say that the people they dropped her off with were friends of her mom's that Monica also knew. So they weren't total strangers to Monica, but still. It sounds like Monica didn't know that's what was happening either. I could be wrong. It's not like she has fond memories of it. Although I would argue the point that maybe she was better off with this family than her mother. You know? All right, next we are at Lisa's house. And John is taking a little stroll down memory lane. He has gotten out all his old photo albums, and he's showing Jack some pictures from the time when he went on a mission himself. Now, okay, are we to believe that Lisa never told Heather that John went on a mission too? Like when Heather is saying, you really should have Jack talk to me because I know what it's like. I've been on a mission. You haven't. Like, you don't, he has no idea what he's getting into. That whole time that Heather's going off about like being the only person that Jack really should have been talking to, Lisa never thought to say, slow your roll. John's been on a mission. He can talk to Jack about it. Am I the only one that finds that strange? So like I said, John is showing Jack some old photos. And in John's confessional, he said, yeah, Jack told me he was going on a mission 2 weeks before he told Lisa. He's like, don't tell Mom. And I was like, you're kidding, right? The producer says to John, were you afraid of Lisa's reaction? And John goes, she'd beat the shit out of me probably. Okay, but now it sounds like you did keep it a secret for 2 weeks. Because you just said Jack told me 2 weeks before he told Lisa. So is Lisa just going to find this out now when she watches the show? Are you scared now? Because I think I would be. Okay, well now John is reading Jack an essay that he wrote titled The Most Spiritual Experience. That was written in August of 93. John also said that he wouldn't have met Lisa if it wasn't for him going on a mission because Lisa's sister was a missionary in Las Vegas. I guess that's where John was sent, Las Vegas. I don't know. Sounds fun. And one night she brought Lisa out to hang out with John's roommate. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't John with Lisa's sister briefly? Like very briefly, because they really downplay it. But I think that was the deal. And then John said, and then the rest was history because he and Lisa actually hit it off. So Lisa now comes into the living room and she sits down next to Jack. And she's like, oh my gosh, 3 days and you find out where you're going. Are you freaking out? Jack, no. Lisa is trying to plan a huge party for Jack, and he's not into it. In her confessional, Lisa said, I'm realizing that Jack does not, have any value, in anything, that I say or feel. Oh, wow. I mean, that's a bold statement. We flash back to Lisa asking Jack about, what do you want for your mission reveal party? Jack, liquid death and charcuterie. Lisa's like, that's all. That sounds kind of boring. I mean, it doesn't sound boring, but it's hilarious. Liquid death, which is, isn't that just water? Flavored water or something, I think. Anyway, liquid death and charcuterie. It's just... It's hilarious. Anyway, back to Lisa's confessional, and she goes, we're just all in Jack's world right now. Jack does what Jack wants to do. He's got this, vibe now that, he needed frosted tips. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get Jack's frosted tips either, but, to each his own. So now John is telling Jack that he's really very proud of him. And it was a wonderful experience, but if he ever wants to come home, the door is always open. He said, there were days when I wanted to come home during my mission. So Lisa feels that she needs to add this little gem. Oh, yeah. And let me tell you this story. One day in college, I came back to my dorm, and my roommate was wearing my clothes, fully
wearing all of my clothes, my shoes and everything, and she was sitting on my bed. And I was like, what are you doing? And she said, I just wanted to feel what it felt like to be you.
There's like silence.
It was creepy. It was really creepy. So, like, you won't like all of your companions, but you're stuck with them in close quarters. So, if you want to come home, it's fine.
Okay. Good story, Lisa. Okay, in this next scene, we have Heather, Monica, Whitney, and Meredith, and they are going cross-country skiing together. Whitney takes the opportunity in her confessional to throw a little shade on cross-country skiing. She's like, I grew up in Utah my whole life. I've done all the snow things: snowmobiling, skiing, snowboarding, etc. But I have never been invited to go cross-country skiing. I always assumed I would do it when I'm older, like the elderly women in my neighborhood. So after a little bit of cross-country skiing, they do some tailgating by the cars and some folding chairs, and they sit around to chat and eat various types of olives. And Monica tells them, I think Whitney said, I like your new car. And Monica tells them it's a rental because her car is in her mom's name. Even though she makes all the payments and everything, I don't know why. Maybe she has bad credit. I don't know. Unclear. Anyway, because it's in her mom's name, every time they have a fight, her mom takes the car back. What the f***? Meredith's like, how does she do that? And Monica goes, well, this time she said, I want the car back in front of my house by 4:00 or I'm going to call the police and tell them it's stolen. Yeah, they're shocked. And I'm sorry, but there is something very wrong with this woman. You're hurting your granddaughters too, by the way, Linda. Leaving them stranded without a car, or maybe they can't go to a practice or a club or whatever because their mom doesn't have a car. Like, something's wrong with you. And Monica, girl, get it together. Get your life together enough so that you can lose your dependency on your mom. You have to. Being on this show is a good thing, and I think you're a good asset to the show. And I hope this is just like the start of something good for you. But you've got to build your own credit and independence from your mother. She doesn't seem like she's the healthiest person to be around. Anyway, so as you know, Meredith wasn't invited to Greek Easter because she and Angie, not fans of each other. And so Heather tells her that they all met Linda at Greek Easter. And Meredith goes, oh, would I not like her? And Heather goes, no, you'd love her. She's so nice and charming. And Monica goes, it's like Ted Bundy, right? No one ever thought he was a murderer because he was so charismatic. Everyone's like, oh, okay. So Heather says something like, so I'm the only one here who's not talking to her mom at all. And Whitney goes, no, Heather, I didn't talk to my mom for 13 years because I left the church. We went our separate ways and I had to watch her always be there for my brothers and the other grandkids. It was hard. And Monica's like, it's so crazy how we all have daughters and we all have insane relationships with our mothers. We've got to do so much better for our kids. Now, Meredith doesn't have an insane relationship with her mother. I think she has a wonderful relationship with her mother. But it's interesting to me that she's not Mormon. And the other three moms are. Now, I'm not saying that religion causes women to be crazy, but I don't think it's a very female-friendly religion. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like the church has some antiquated opinions about the rights of women versus the rights of men. So I don't love that. I don't know. It's an interesting coincidence then that the three mothers who are having difficulty with their daughters could be related to the church. But also, I would just say, it's like how my opinions last week about Linda, I think got the most comments of anything that I've said in a long time, probably. And I think it's because mother-daughter relationships it's like religion and politics. They are hot button issues, and everyone seems to have a very strong opinion about it. You know, whether it was good or bad, or whether you don't even remember your mother at all. We all grew up with our own unique experience of motherhood, what it meant to us. So Whitney now invites all of them and their families to Bobby's 13th birthday party. And then she said, Meredith, I have to have an awkward conversation with you because I'm inviting Angie, and you have said multiple times that you want to ruin her life. And Meredith's like, I never said that. And Whitney's like, you've said multiple times that you have information that could ruin her life, which is a little bit different. So Whitney goes, look back at the history of our friendships, and it was the same with Jen, Lisa, Mary, and now Angie. So this is a pattern. I'm just telling you as your friend. And Meredith goes, well, as my friend, how could you see my car crashed on the side of the road and not call me for 48 hours to see if I'm okay? Oh my God. What? So, that's quite a redirect, by the way. And Whitney says, I drove past a car in a snowbank, yes. I later found out it was you. And that's when I texted you because your post said that you were in a near fatal car accident. And then we see the post. Of course, Meredith posted it to Instagram. Anyway, Whitney's like, I didn't make the connection that meaning the car that was in the snowbank, was the near fatal car accident. She goes, but when I did, I texted you. So Meredith is like, okay, after all that. And then quite tearfully, Meredith says, I did have my life flash before my eyes because I honestly thought we were going over a cliff. And I said this before and I will say it again. I get that fear. But when I thought that my last significant interaction was what it was that day, that was truly incomprehensible. I can tell you this, I am not hurting people. I am not inflicting harm or even wishing ill towards anyone, including Angie. Whitney just says, okay, thank you. All right, next we are at Angie's, and her 86-year-old father comes over to make his famous chicken lemon rice soup, which sounds delicious. They talk about family and putting the kids first. She says, you always put us kids first, and, you know, it's hard for me and Sean to even, have a date because we put Electra first. Then Sean gets home, and it gets a little awkward. Says she has soup for him, but then he's like, oh, I have to shower first. I feel like it was edited to make us think that Angie was a little upset by that. Anyway, now it is time for the dinner with Whitney and Mary. They're at a restaurant called Provisions, which I can only assume is all canned goods and shelf-stable items. Maybe some bottled water. Oh, and let me just say, it's not starting off weird at all, Whitney. We missed you at Greek Easter. Mary, I didn't miss it. So you were there, you mean? Oh, God. Oh, but you guys, oh my God. The waitress spilled Mary's food on her, on her sparkly dress, which, by the way, was a little overdressed for the restaurant, if you ask me, but, it's Mary, so whatever. I'm sure it was expensive. She spilled her food on her. My heart stopped. That's how scared I was for this poor server. Bravo even gives us a replay in slow motion. And in Mary's confessional, why couldn't she have spilled it on Whitney? I'll tell you why, because she's not afraid of Whitney. Her hands were not trembling when she put Whitney's plate down. It's you, Mary. Anyway, now Mary just tells Whitney, okay, you called this meeting, so shoot your shot. Whitney says, I got caught up in a lot of bullshit in talking about you, and I'm sorry. Mary just says, you severed our future. Severed it, Whitney. But Mary, you have to own it too. Mary's like, what are you talking about? Whitney says, you sent me very mean texts and hurt my feelings. Then we get a montage of Mary's texts. Oh my God. I mean, they're mostly just about how much better she looks than Whitney. That's sort of the general theme running through them all. Mary just says, grow up, little girl. I'm not doing this with you. And they're kind of like talking over each other while Mary's putting her coat on. So Whitney makes the point that like she owned up to her part and she would like Mary to do the same. But Mary will not. Mary's like, you called me here to tell me what I need to work on? No. And Whitney goes, you can be mean, but I can't. And Mary goes, you called my husband and me predators. Whitney, I know. That was awful. In Mary's confessional, she goes, how can she compare me being mean to her calling me and my husband predators? Like, seriously, someone's going to backhand you, and it might be me. Yeah, Mary's going to leave. She is not going to waste her time on Whitney anymore. Well, maybe a little while more, because she needs to flag someone down to get a box for her food. Because she's not going to waste that food. She's just sitting there looking around. I mean, you know her server is probably in the back room in a puddle of tears right now, crying about how, of all people, I spilled food on Mary Cosby. Whitney goes, you won't even have a conversation with me, Mary? Mary, no, you don't get that. Wake up, bobblehead. Whitney goes, this is so gross. I don't think you want to leave like that. And Mary goes, watch me walk out the door. And she does with her to-go bag. All right, now it is the day of Jack's mission reveal party. Is this similar to a gender reveal? Are we going to like cut into the cake and see where Jack is being sent? Oh, wow. I am looking at some LDS Elder Barlow cookies right now. Oh, no. Oh, God, you guys, Lisa will be crushed if he's not sent somewhere with good shopping. You know? I'm actually getting nervous right now. Lisa just said, it's like a gender reveal party. I'm not sure how I feel about me and Lisa making the same joke, but it is what it is. All right, so there are a lot of people here, lots of friends, family. We've got family on a Zoom call there, and a fair number of blurry faces. Yeah, here to support Jack, but not Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Jack gives a little speech before, reading the letter that reveals where he's being sent. He talks about how supportive his family has been, including Henry, even though when he told Henry he was going on a mission, Henry said, that sucks. Super supportive. But ever since, he's been super pumped for me. Has he, Jack? Henry's going to be running Fresh Wolf without you. He'll be CEO by the time you get home, so I hope he can find a place for you when you get back. All right, he's reading the letter. Drum roll, please. Columbia. Lisa is crying, masking it like it's happy tears. She just keeps going, oh my God, oh my God. 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 Columbia. Oh my God. How's the shopping? Where do I shop there? All right. Well, I just looked up the shopping situation for Lisa, and here's what I'm seeing. Shopping options are plentiful and varied in the city center. Look for bargains and handicrafts. Oh, no. In the north, he actually is going to be in the north, I think it said, North Mission. In the north, you will find upscale malls and boutiques. Okay. Columbia is known for its shoes, purses, emeralds, and gold. Okay, so she'll find something. Oh my God, you guys. Lisa's confessional. I can't believe Jack is going to Columbia. She still has a plastered smile on her face.
He'll probably be held up at gunpoint once or twice.
What?
My friend's son went to Colombia, and he was held up at gunpoint weekly. So he carried extra cash in his pocket, just like to hand it over. But overall, it's thrilling.
Okay. Wow. If my friend's son went there and he was carrying extra cash in his pocket to hand over so that he didn't get shot in the face once a week, I don't think I would think that was thrilling. Well, actually, no, that would be thrilling. It wouldn't be good in any way. Just wow. Okay. Moving on. Next, we are at Menorca with Monica. Monica is meeting her mom there, of all people, who immediately starts to cry when Monica sits down. And then she stops almost as quickly and says, well, that gave me a headache. Is there something wrong with Linda? I know I keep asking that, but I'm wondering if there really is like a diagnosis. She immediately says, I just watched a movie of an older lady in Croatia who had issues with her mom, and then her mom died and they hadn't resolved their issues. Well, that sounds like a great movie. But Linda does not want that to happen to her and Monica. And, she's crying, and Monica's just sitting there stone-faced. And she goes, you want me to feel bad for you, but you didn't care when I was crying. At Angie's party, you were apologizing for me to people you just met for the first time. I felt so alone. And Linda goes, I don't need you to feel sorry for me. I need you to have a conversation with me. And Monica goes, don't talk to me like that. Linda, what? I'm not going to talk to you like some weak-ass bitch. Well, this is just another mother-daughter scene that is just honestly so tough to watch. Monica tells Linda that you didn't know the half of what was going on with me and Angie, yet you apologized to Angie for my behavior. I don't know why. Maybe it skips a generation, because I don't have that gene where I would apologize to a stranger for my child. I can't comprehend it. And Linda goes, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. And Monica goes, yeah, you tried crying, you tried yelling. That's usually all you do. Linda's like, I didn't try crying. That was real. Don't be disrespectful. Was it though? She stopped so quickly. Well, that gave me a headache. It did seem like, well, let me try crying. No, don't like that. That gave me a headache. It did seem that way. I know. This is a hot button issue for everybody, this mother-daughter thing. You guys know how I'm landing, and some of you are landing on the side of Linda, which, again, somebody said this in a comment. I totally disagree with you, Jill, but that's okay. And my reply was, yes, it is okay. We can have different opinions. That's what makes the world go round. I love different opinions. Just as long as we keep it respectful in the comment section and we're, kind to each other, yes, we can all voice our opinions about this very volatile topic of mother-daughters, And whether it sounds like it or not to you, I am trying to keep an open mind about this. I don't know everything there is to know about Linda. I don't know everything there is to know about Monica. They're both brand new to us as viewers. This is the first season we're seeing either of them. So I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. It's just, I am having feelings about what I'm seeing so far. And Linda is theatrical, in my opinion. And maybe that's why I made the comment that I think Linda wants to be a housewife, because she's not camera shy at all. She seems quite the opposite. She almost seems like she is in competition with her daughter for more airtime. It's just an opinion. Anyway, so Linda does not want to be mocked for crying. And Monica said, like you did to me? And Linda goes, I don't care. And Monica said, I know you don't care. And Linda's like, let me talk, motherfucker. Yeah. And Monica goes, did you just call me a fucker? Linda, I called you a motherfucker. She seems sweet. So Linda says we need to get to the root of our problems. I agree. And Monica said, okay, but you're going to have to be able to hear some hard things from me. At Angie's Greek Easter, side note, now I'm starting to wonder if Angie is Greek. I feel like she would have said that though, right? She said, at Angie's Greek Easter, I felt abandoned by you, like I did in childhood. Linda, I did not abandon you. And Monica goes, I was 12 and you left me with those people. Linda, I had to start my new job. And New York was far more expensive than I thought it was going to be. Well, she's right about that. So she just said, I wasn't prepared. You have trauma. And Monica's like, yeah, I do. And you have trauma. The way your mother hated you and was never there for you and your father abandoned you. I get it. You went through a lot of abuse, Mom. And Linda goes, I'm over it. Monica's like, no, you're not. Yeah. I'm not sure you ever really totally get over something like that. But Monica goes, no, you're not. Because you treat me the same way you hated your mother treat you. Cycle of abuse. It is powerful and tragic. And difficult to break. It is not easy. You know, this conversation actually deteriorates as it goes along. Monica recalls a time that she was in the trunk of a car while her mother kissed some guy. And Linda goes, oh my God, one time. Oh my God. She's not even denying that. Then Linda says she's not even sorry about it, which that's the weird part. Why would you not regret some of the bad things you did or the poor choices that you made? Like, we've all made mistakes and we've all done things that, years later in the light of day, we wish we hadn't done. And in retrospect, learning that maybe that hurt somebody, you regret it then, right? Even if you did it out of necessity or something, you can still regret that that happened to your little girl. I guess it's like a lot of not accepting blame, maybe, on Linda's part. Like, she doesn't want to be blamed for anything. She goes, what was I supposed to do, Monica? Get over it. Which now I'm wondering if that's exactly something her mother said to her. Get over it, Linda. And now Linda says, I'm over it. Possibly. Monica, who acts like she's heard it all, even she's shocked by that one. And then Linda, remember, they're in a restaurant. Linda yells, when do I get forgiven? And Monica goes, when do you get to be forgiven? Well, you just told me you don't regret it or feel bad, so not today. God, and then you guys, maybe it's poor editing. I don't know, but like immediately now, Linda, I'm hungry. And Monica goes, well, then you should eat, Mom. Linda suggests that they get therapy because she doesn't have the tools to fix it. That's the best idea she's had yet. But Monica's just like, yeah, okay. I got to go home to the kids. And she walks out. And another fun ending for the episodes here, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's funny when Monica first came on this season and we knew she was Jen Shah's assistant, I assumed that this season was going to be a lot of dirt about Jen Shah and things that maybe Jen had said about the other ladies behind their backs that, maybe she said to Monica. That's just kind of how I thought this was going to go. That Monica was a good grab for Bravo because she'd have some Jen Shah stories. What I did not expect was this deeply troubled mother-daughter relationship that Monica has with her mom. I mean, look, as a reality show, this is life. This is real life. It just doesn't fit the mold of Housewives, so it's throwing me a little bit. It's also, for me personally, not something that I can make fun of a lot or, find the funny in it. It's a little bit harder for me to do that. So, my brand of like keeping this light and silly, it's a little bit hard for me, but it's fine. Well, I would like to see them really resolve something by the end of the season. I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's too many years of trauma for both of them that it's not going to get solved in one season. But I hope they make some positive progress. Let's put it that way. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you liked this recap, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. Also, if you click on the bell icon, you will be notified every time I post something new here on my channel. If you guys like shopping at Amazon, I am an Amazon affiliate, and by going through one of the links in the description box below, before you do your Amazon shopping, I will receive a small credit for any qualifying purchases that you make. So thank you in advance for that. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.